大家好，我是青青。今天我们继续《火焰文章之风花雪月黑旧县教会分支》的第4期啊，有可能就是最后一期了。那现在是7月份青海节，我们刚从帝都安巴尔得胜归来，现在的任务呢是去进攻地底人，也就是阿加尔人他们的基地香巴拉。我们先跳到最后一个周末。最后一个周末呢，我们选择散步，应该是……哦，我还以为没有什么支线呢，原来还是有的，筹措物资。雷亚正在睡觉。
If it is not absolutely urgent, please do not disturb her rest. The long confinement took its toll on her health. Truthfully, she is in no shape to be exerting herself at all, to say nothing of a military expedition. To make matters worse, we are now facing a very old enemy. One that has conspired against us since time out of mind. Please proceed with caution. I have a bad feeling. I have something to ask of you. Well done. You have my thanks.
学飞行。西提斯，哦，这是在3楼。3楼的话，之前一直都没怎么去过。
We rescued Lady Rhea. I can hardly express my joy. But now we know about a new foe who intends to bring her harm. In time, we'll realize the peaceful world that Lady Rhea has always hoped for. I'll have to keep that in mind when I'm fighting.
Professor, I am so glad that Rhea is unharmed. My brother continues to worry about her, however. Of course, I am worried myself. I cannot imagine being in that situation while in such a state. I hope she will rest now, and leave it up to you and my brother to see things through.
雷亚救回来了，可是呢，他也废了。
You've done it. You did it. You crushed the Empire and rescued Lady Rhea. I'm sure the Captain is proud of you right now. As am I, of course. I'm as proud as if I'd done it myself.
你高兴得太早了，还有敌人要面对。
Sorry, I didn't mean to overdo it. We still have to deal with Monica's group. Those who killed the Captain. We'll knock them down so hard that they can't get back up.
Lady Rhea's back! Lady Rhea's back! I'm so happy! But things aren't gonna be like they used to be anytime soon, are they? There's still folks out there that want us all dead, and Lady Rhea still hasn't regained her strength yet. Speaking of which, Professor, please don't ask too much of her right now, okay?
我当然不会要他做什么啦，对不对？
Fighting against enemies whose true nature is unknown is honestly really scary. Still, if there's a force in this world that clearly means us harm, we have no choice but to fight back. With our own hands, we'll safeguard Fodlan's future.
接着的话呢，去一趟大教堂吧。谁在门口呢？
Professor, my most heartfelt thanks and congratulations on Lady Rhea's safe return. With your magnificent achievements, maybe you'll join the ranks of the saints one day. I'm sure when the monastery is rebuilt, they'll make a proper statue of you, all majestic and shiny and tall, Oh, I just know they will.
你错了，我不是圣人，我是下一任大司教，我是下一任教皇，好吗？看看林哈尔特站在桥上干嘛呢？
Professor, as history proves, everything comes to an end eventually. I knew that all along, but it still came as a surprise. Those who slither in the dark. It's all so fascinating and strange. They must certainly have a long history of their own. And when they fall, that will come quickly too, don't you think?
确实。
That almost sounded like a prophecy there. Am I spooking you yet?
暗黑蠢动者他们的历史非常的长，可能比苏蒂斯还要长。他们为什么那么痛恨苏蒂斯呢？因为他们认为这片大地本来是他的，结果呢被苏蒂斯抢去了。
The Empire has broken in smithereens. Now it is possible for me to go back to Bridget. But I cannot choose that choice. The time is still too soon for that. We must be stopping the evil for everyone in Fodlan. We will be fighting until the end of it.
汉尼曼
A mysterious organization, slithering in the dark of Fodlan, like something out of a midnight tale. It appears these fiends have infiltrated the deepest corners of the Empire. After the fall of Enbar, they've remained well concealed. That said, I would keep an eye on Edelgard's uncle, Lord Arundel. Something about him sits ill with me.
你真像啦！马术的话估计学不到了，巫术学一下吧。嘿，贝尔不在他房间哦，贝尔在哪儿呢？在温室。菜的不用种了啊，现在菜吃不完了。
I thought that taking the Empire's capital would bring an end to this war. How naive of me. I'll have to write to my family and tell them I'll be gone a while longer.
你果然是太天真啦，贝尔。
With Edelgard gone, maybe Fodlan will finally find some peace. That's all well and good, but, she was also the one to put my father under house arrest. So now he's been released and he's taken charge of House Farley. I can't handle it. I can't deal with him. Please, you have to do something.
趁这个机会把他流放吧。
Thank you so much.
带孝女。卡斯帕尔，卡斯帕尔。
He's dead.
Uh-huh.
My father's dead. I'm okay, though. Really. I was ready for it. He was a general in the Imperial Army, after all. Minister of Military Affairs. He gave his own life so the Empire's soldiers wouldn't have to lose theirs. That's a fight that only he could take on. He was such a tough guy. I fought side by side with you this whole time. But did I ever get any stronger? Will I ever be as strong as my father?
卡斯帕尔，我对不起你啊！哎，卡斯帕尔的话还是适合组这个帝国线啊，就不像菲尔迪南特他们。你要像菲尔迪南特的话，他的老爹是反艾德尔的，但是卡斯帕尔他老爹的话呢，他是支持艾德尔的。
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. I can hardly believe you managed to handle the capital city like that. Everyone did sterling work. I really thought we'd know peace after that battle. But we're not quite there yet, huh?
大家太厉害了。
Professor!
Lady Rhea's return has already been proclaimed to all the churches in all parts of Fodlan. They are also being informed by Order of Seteth that visitations are very restricted for the time being. It makes sense. Otherwise, pilgrims would come from all over Fodlan and overwhelm the monastery.
是啊。
Thank you. Professor, I just got word from the opera company. I don't know if everyone survived, but it looks like they should be able to mount a revival. They even asked if I'd consider making a return to the stage someday. I suspect I may refuse, though. We're at the dawn of something new. No reason to look backwards, eh?
老师，你听我说，骑士之间。萨米亚。
We saved Rhea and the Empire has crumbled. The kingdom may as well be finished too. The reasons for me to remain in Fodlan are fading.
多陪我们一阵子吧。
I've come this far. May as well see it through to the end.
他的话，他一直都想回去自己的家乡达鲁扎。
This experience is critical.
他就跟他徒弟不一样啊，他徒弟 J 利尔的话呢是死都不回帕梅拉。谁在这儿呢？
The history of the Empire spans 1,185 years. And just like that, it ends. But the Hresfelg legacy could live on.
弗雷斯贝尔谷。
Edelgard assumed power. There were no other rightful heirs. She said that whoever takes the throne next should do so by virtue of merit, not blood. And she truly meant what she said.
现在他做到了。
I feel that a huge hole has opened up in my heart.
嗯
Who knows if it can ever be filled?
嗯，他这话什么意思？不是很懂。
The history of the Empire, but the Hresfelg legacy when Edelgard, she said, at any rate.
难道他一直暗恋艾德尔？艾德尔死了之后呢？他非常的，但是他的家族是不支持艾德尔的呀。
The moment we defeat 80, the nobles cozy up to the Alliance and Church. That lot really does think only of themselves and no one else. But then there's Count Burgles. He used to be Minister of Military Affairs.
啊，就是卡斯帕尔他爹。
He sacrificed his own life so that all the soldiers and officers who fought could be given quarter. When I heard that, I don't know, that simple act of humanity, I couldn't help it. I burst into tears. You know Count Burgles is Caspar's father, right? I can't even imagine how Caspar must feel about it.
他站在钓鱼池那里，看样子难过的想要跳河，想要跳池自杀。你去安慰一下他吧。嗯，找汉尼曼一起。
Oh my, did you choose me without knowing of my abysmal cooking skills? You don't say. It might be better if I just watch. We won't be able to finish like this. I might burn the water.
今天的菜单是布鲁赞啊，布鲁赞，那我们就让雷哈尔特和福莲。
This is my favorite. I am rather happy you went out of your way to pick it, Professor.
This is nearly as delicious as Mother's cooking. I would happily eat this every day.
好啦，回去吧。去一趟骑士团公会，我们补充一下战力。直接进军，看一下啊，对。
Relying on a map entrusted to them by Hubert, the Resistance Army sets their sights on the base belonging to those who slither in the dark. Beyond its entrance, they are met by a sprawling underground city.
在地图的东南方。
To think there is such a vast space hidden beneath the ground. How very creepy.
The atmosphere here is very different from the Holy Mausoleum or Holy Tomb. Look at the shapes and the light.
It's too strange. It's all really old, but you get the feeling that it's also new? I don't understand it.
This decorating is not of Fodlan. What is the meaning here?
I hate the look of things in here. Is this some kind of a city? I would never ever live here.
Living underground, all safe and isolated. It sounds really awful.
Underground city hiding those who slither in the dark. I would not mind finishing up here and returning to the surface with haste.
Let us search for a way to descend farther still. We should survey our surroundings carefully.
有什么在意的事吗？
No. We must defeat those who slither in the dark, no matter what happens. But if my conjecture is correct, the one who they will wish to kill the most is you, dear child.
当然啦，他们之前的话就设计了一个陷阱骗我进去，要把我锁进黑暗之中，只不过后来失败了。哎，为什么是我呢？
They are aware that you can use the sword of the Creator. Your body houses the same power they once bestowed upon Nemesis. That is why I must protect you, no matter what. Even if I must die to do so.
我不明白你的理由，之后的话他会告诉你的。
Somewhere in your heart, I believe you do understand. You must at least have your suspicions. There is something I have not yet told you, dear child. I swear to illuminate you once this awful battle has concluded. And at the same time, I will offer my apologies to you. I must, because when you learn the truth, you will also learn what you are and how you were born into this world. It will be a hard truth to hear. When the time comes, I hope you are prepared for it.
贝尔不要上了，让林哈尔特上，朵罗西亚也上。我撤一个人下来吧。他们要给我加血，马努埃拉也可以上啊。追利亚撤下来，马努埃拉多上几个奶妈，看一下地图配置啊。我是在这里，这个地图的话，其实还挺有意思的。这堵墙是不能进入的。那么我这个位置，我要从哪边下去呢？就是说我要从这里下去，需要钥匙才能开门。然后这个的话也是需要钥匙啊。然后这一扇门也是需要钥匙的。你跟我的奶妈呢？林哈尔特，我3个奶妈站一起，你有没有搞错嘛？林哈尔特站过来，对，就是这样。佩托拉的话也是必须跟着我的。然后呢，我们整理一下东西。我记得之前的话，休伯特身上有个女神像，我还没有给他用掉。休伯特身上居然会有女神像，休伯特这个叛徒。然后我身上再多拿几个钥匙。就是这样，没有问题了。存个蛋。
For thousands of years, we have existed underground, living on only that we might someday see our vengeance realized. Here and now, that vengeance is finally within our grasp. There is but one thing left to do. Destroy them! Damn those who stand with that arrogant goddess to oblivion, away from the world of the living! Now is the time. Remove the binding spell of Titanus. Let their metal bodies be drenched in blood!
What is that?
就这个大怪物。
No, I think not. They appear to have no will of their own. Someone must be controlling them.
Initiate all that remain. We must advance our preparations.
他们的科技是非常发达的，你像死神骑士手中的那个镰刀，还有艾戴尔手中的斧子啊，都非常的厉害，都是他们造的。修的话也是要用他们的阿加尔金属才可以修啊。那我看一下击败敌将，那敌将的话，这个也不是敌将啊。这儿也没有敌将啊。就敌将的话呢，一定是在这个房间里面啊。那我们要赶紧赶过去。看一下啊，看一下。
I'll crush them all.
其实你们可以从这边下来嘛，对吧？
What's my strategy?
哎呀，我失策了，我走不过去，要命！那
I will prevail.
你最多走到这儿。
Thanks.
No matter what, I will not misplace my heart.
Allow me to demonstrate! I must lead them well.
能飞钥匙有点太多了，是吧？
I'm awake.
Onward. More fighting.
行了，其他人的话就不用动了。
Well done.别打他了，我是为了让 Dorothea 走下去帮我加血的，我才走这一路，不然的话就不走了。
Viscum activated. Increase output gradually, depending on the amount of magical energy charged. I don't care if we destroy Shambhala, so long as our goals are fulfilled.
Predictable. Here is something to believe in. All is going to plan. Watch and learn. No hesitation. Another victory. There is still room for improvement. It's over. This could turn the tides. It won't be in vain.
我他妈直接去开门还不行？哎呦，牛逼啊！天地之霸剑都打不了你。骑龙，这应该是个头目。我就站这儿。哎呦！ 剑舞，我靠，我靠，他不过他命中我概率才只有7%，我不信他可以命中我。
No use.
托龙。
This is my stage now. Maybe it's better this way. Predictable.
Now. 哎呦，连续气死！我靠
！No, we're so close. I can't fall here. Please see the battle through.
Watch and learn. All is going to plan. I must lead them well.
我不能动了。
I'm stronger than before.
我不敢让他过去啊，让他过去不被打死了。算了，过去就过去吧。
Watch and learn.
啊，打得中哦！嘿，打不中哦。
Remain cautious.
门开了，让他过去给我跳舞。不是，回复远程。
Appreciate it. I will prevail.
Thanks.
哎，过来，给他点牌面，用天地之，就是不给他牌面，我就是用铁剑打他，我呢就是不用天地之剑打他。
So you have shown yourself, Felstar, or should I say, Sophis? I will spill every drop of blood in your body to fulfill the long-standing goal of the Agarthans.
Allow me to demonstrate.
帅气！塔列斯终于死了，亚兰德公终于死了，我们的杀父仇人终于死了。
You will never get to enjoy your victory.
It can't be.
For all Garthans. Let there be light!
他要发动大绝招了，同归于尽吗？这就是梅丽塞乌斯要塞的时候他发动的那个，直接把人家要塞全都给毁了。雷亚！不！塔雷斯死了，死的时候张大了个嘴巴。雷亚，
Part 2. Silver Snow. Verdant Rain Moon. Following a Dream. The ambitions of those who slither in the dark are forever shattered with Shambhala's destruction. But in the process, Rhea is grievously injured. What fate awaits her, and who will bear the weight of Fodlan on their shoulders?
Hang in there, Lady Rhea.
She needs help. Hurry!
That's a serious injury. It's a miracle that she's even alive right now. I'll do what I can, but...
"5 years ago, when this place fell, an enormous white creature appeared on the battlefield. It was the Immaculate One, Rhea."
那个时候他也是打算解救我。
What? You already knew her true identity?
不然呢
I see. In the past, the children of the goddess were all able to change their appearance, just like the Immaculate One. I lost that power long ago, but it seems Rhea has not.
西提斯也是女神眷属。
Is it not obvious? Flayn and I both are. We have protected Garreg Mach and all of Fodlan for a very long time. But now, the light of Rhea's life is on the verge of disappearing from this world. It is flickering. I do not know if she can be saved. Even if she is, I wonder if she will remain unchanged.
Professor, are you able to carry on Rhea's work? As the protector of Fodlan, and as leader of the people who live here.
当然。
You must defend the people, guide them and teach them, join their hearts and spread peace across the whole of the land.
It is not as though you must become the Archbishop. But Fodlan needs leadership. It is up to you to govern this war-torn land.
你将成为弗朵拉的王。我兴奋的连话都不会说了。这。
You need not reply right this moment. We will strive to heal Rhea as best we can.
Perhaps it would help to seek counsel from our friends at the monastery about this matter.
I agree. When your mind is made up, please speak with me. I would ask that you give me your decision in the presence of Rhea herself.
哎呀，我真是太激动了！我要成为弗朵拉的王，这还需要考虑吗？这还需要给我几个星期让我考虑吗？你开什么玩笑呢？我立马答应好吗？既然他要我们去问问大家的意见的话呢，我们本周末就选择散步。应该是没有支线了吧？你怎么还要物资啊？有没有搞错？这我们的仗都打完了，你还要物资？说西提斯，你是不是中饱私囊
？Well, is your mind made up?
还没。
I understand. Just know that we are applying all our power right now toward healing Rhea. You should take this opportunity. I have something to ask of you. Well done. You have my thanks.
哎呀，这样的话我见不到雷亚了。这样的话，我跟雷亚的。我跟雷亚的好感剧情的话，不过我之前曾经玩出来过雷亚的 A 级支援好感那个剧情啊，反正我们这周末也不打算跟雷亚结婚。那这个剧情的话，我待会儿跳到他那个 extra 里面去给大家看一下好了。哎，不是。我要跟萨米亚说话。
The war is finally over. I have to admit, even I got a little emotional. Ray's condition doesn't look good. There's nothing to do now but wait. More importantly, are you serious about becoming Fodlan's new ruler?
我是认真的。
You made up your mind pretty quickly. Either way, do what you think is best. 训练一下。
哎，没什么好训练的，就这样吧。哇，怎么大家全都在大厅2楼？这么多人。看一下哦 ，Julia。
Professor, do you figure Lady Rhea will be okay? She will, won't she? I don't care one bit who'll succeed Lady Rhea, because nobody's gonna need to. She's gonna be happy and healthy again. You'll see.
Flame.
I have faith in Lady Rhea's convalescence. But even so, what she needs now is rest. And while she is recovering, somebody must watch over Fodlan. There is no one more fit to wear such a mantle than you, Professor. That is what I believe. I do not doubt the others feel the same.
这还用考虑吗？你给你机会，你不中用吗？
We've done it. We've finally brought this creaky old ship ashore. The fight was long and bitter, but finally, I can lay down my burden. Oh, it's you! Don't creep up like a ghost. Next time, announce yourself. Whether or not you choose to succeed Lady Rhea, I will forever be by your side. You should live your life however you want. That's what the captain would say, I think.
训练也没用了，到不了 C 了，最后一个月了。
Shambhala, an underground city with an entirely different lineage than the goddess? Strange phenomena, driven by a source totally alien to the crest that we understand. Most unsettling. Could it be magic? Some manner of technology? I would like to know the truth of it all. Very much so. I want to know their history, their knowledge. Why do you suppose they chose this place to occupy? No, I suppose you wouldn't. It seems we will have to excavate Shambhala to know more. Although I heard you will be the ruler here. Should I ask your permission to proceed with the dig?
是啊，对啊，你要问我呀，我现在是这个世界的王，我拥有至高无上的权利。
Oh, life can be tough, you know. But if you've got your friends to help you through, it can be a lot easier. Maybe you butt heads sometimes, but that's okay. That's how you build bonds, right? And I've got friends, Professor, plenty of those. It's true love that seems to have passed me by.
还有希望。
But where is my true love to be found? Where is my ray of hope? At this point, I'm just hoping you stay single too. Then at least we can share each other's misery.
你喜欢西提斯吗？我可以把你，我可以把你嫁给西提斯。
Lady Rhea stopped the forces that threatened to destroy Fodlan. She's trying to realize her dream of peace. Isn't that enough? Can't you let her rest? If you're the only person who's fit to replace her, you should just do it. I'm sure Lady Rhea wishes for that too, right? I can't think of anyone who's more well-suited to the job.
别练了，练也练不升不了级了。
Professor.
现在还叫我 Professor 呢，我已经是王了。
All the lords of the Old Kingdom seem to be pouring their efforts into rebuilding their own domains. But without a royal family in place, they can't seem to reach any sort of agreement, and so the work can't progress. A lot of territory in the Old Empire doesn't even have any lords right now, so there are concerns about peace and prosperity breaking down in large areas. It is the duty of the victor to restore order. We must rebuild and reunite as soon as we can.
重建，我同意。
Congratulations on a job well done, Professor. I do hope Lady Rhea is well. Is it true what I heard? You'll be taking over her post? Would that make you Archbishop, or higher still? Am I in the company of the future ruler of Fodlan?
弗朵拉之王，我会成为王。
So you've already decided. Such proactive thinking is the hallmark of a good ruler. Me? I have no interest in a leadership role. I'm happy to spend the rest of my days studying and napping.
林哈尔特，哎，我们上周末的老公啊，你喜欢福莲吗？我让你娶福莲好不好呢？
Right. Finally, an end to the fighting. Have you ever felt happier?
I've worried that I might not live to see this day, but
Here we are, and everything is going to be okay, isn't it? My heart feels like it's ready to burst. I'm so full of happiness, yet I feel a sense of loss, too.
我们守护了很多。
I agree. I suppose if I think of those who are gone as the people who ensured our freedom, it hurts less. Please do what you can to keep the peace. so we never have to face such awful times again.
骑士之间。
Professor!
Teacher. Well done, Professor. We have brought the war to a magnificent conclusion. The Empire, Alliance, and Kingdom are no more, nor are there any factions that could blindside us and cause conflict. Now it falls to us to rule Fodlan, and bring about an era of peace and prosperity. You would be a fine choice for the first ruler of this new era. I sincerely believe that.
谢谢你。
So your heart is already set on it. Excellent. In that case, congratulations are in order. I will follow you, Professor. I aim to be a great and respectable noble.
放心吧，菲尔迪南特，你喜欢我吗？你愿意跟我结婚吗？怎么贝尔又回房间啦？开什么玩笑！在房间干嘛呢？整理行李呢？
It's all over, Professor. Though I am worried about Lady Rhea. But still, Fodlan is united, and those terrible people lurking in the dark have finally been destroyed. Looks like it's the dawn of a wonderful new era. Of blissful seclusion for Bernie.
随你喜欢吧，家里蹲的时代来临了。
Woohoo! You finally did it, Bernie! Now take your reward of eternal peace and quiet! 温室佩托拉。
War has been ended. I will now be returning to Bridget. I hope in the new Fodlan, Bridget can be accepted with friendship. When my professor becomes the leader, I think that we'll have a possibility. Please, choose well.
也请你多指教啊。
Yes. Now I must be packing.
收拾行李啦，要回家啦。大家都好开心。卡斯帕尔是不开心的。走教会线的话，怎么说呢？就有点对不起卡斯帕尔。啊？你也开心吗？
We did it, Professor! We really gave it to him out there! With all the fighting and hardships, I don't know how we did it. But I'm glad we made it through together.
我也很高兴有你在。
Now all we gotta do is make you the new ruler. That's gonna be a fun coronation.
一统天下的王，帅气帅气，开心开心。 这也是我最喜欢的结局啦。我们再跟门口的守卫对个话吧。今天也没有什么事情要汇报呢。
Pardon me. Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Say, how is the Archbishop faring? The soldiers and citizens are all concerned. Just when we thought peace had finally arrived. What's to become of Fodlan?
今后呢，在我的统治之下啊，大家一定会过上幸福美满的生活。最后呢，我们再去一趟阿比斯。我们来到阿比斯，找到占星术师啊，给大家结缘加好感。那我们 把一些没有看过的这个好感支援剧情看一下。首先是西提斯跟贝尔的 C 加支援剧情。
Excuse me.
Yes? What is it?
I'm really sorry about what I said. I shouldn't have called you scary, even if, you are. I said it again! I'm sorry!
It is nothing I haven't heard before. I am well aware of my austere nature, and I am accustomed to the commentary it brings. I do confess, however, that I was slightly hurt to see you flee from me in such abject terror.
Don't be sad. I'll never do it again. I promise. But, I've been wondering, were you really writing a farewell letter?
Ah, that. No, actually. I was composing a fable centered around Saint Indech.
I didn't know you wrote fables. What's it about?
Saint Indech, one of the four saints. He was an extraordinarily shy person. It is said that he spent most of his life in solitude, unable to open his heart to anyone.
I like him already.
He was, after all, a man who hid himself away at the bottom of a lake.
What's that about a lake?
Nothing. Now, something else to know about Saint Indech is that he had incredible skill with his hands. And that skill made him beloved by the people because he constantly applied it to their benefit. The moral of the story is that shortcomings can be made up for with talent and kindness.
I like it. But I don't have any talents like that. I can't even imagine being that helpful to people. Saint Indech must have been really gifted.
Don't be so quick to dismiss your abilities. You and he are actually alike in more ways than one. You possess Indech's crest, after all, do you not?
Yes, I do. You really think we're alike? Now I want to know all about him. Do you think I could read your fable when it's done?
Absolutely. Indech's example is something that we can all learn from.
Thanks so much! I'm excited to see it.
西提斯和贝尔的毕节。
Here's your book of fables you let me set it. It was so interesting to learn all about Saint Indech that I read it cover to cover in one sitting.
Impressive. I'm glad you enjoyed it. What's this sticking out between the pages? Is this an illustration?
No, nothing like that. I must have stuck it in there and forgotten. Just, give it back, please.
Are you certain this was accidental? It quite fits the descriptions in this chapter. Ah, I see. You included an illustration where you thought the visual would be helpful.
No, not at all. I was just fooling around. I have an overactive imagination, and I forgot to take it out before I gave you the book back.
It really is a lovely drawing, you know. Now that I've seen it, the book would feel incomplete without it. But who is this man next to Saint Indech? I can't help but notice he bears a resemblance to me.
Oh, that's Saint Keyhole. The book describes him as one of Saint Indech's closest friends. I got the feeling he was a very serious man, but also really kind. You know, like you. So that probably explains the, resemblance.
I have to say, I never would have expected to be a reference model for Saint Keyhole. What a curious ambivalence.
What about furious violence?
No, what I meant to say is that I am both flattered and a little embarrassed to be portrayed in this way. Perhaps it is because, in my study of him, I feel like I've also become a friend to Saint Indech. Records show that Saint Indech and Saint Keyhole worked together to achieve great things. If possible, I would like it if the two of us could similarly combine our efforts.
What? How do we figure into this?
We each bear their respective crests, do we not? One might also say that just as I am this book's author, you are now its illustrator. So why don't you do some more illustrations? And color them as well. We'll add them to the book.
You really want me to? I don't know if I'm good enough for something like that.
A 级支援。
Ah, Bernadetta, have you finished your illustrations?
Yes, I have. Finally. This is the first time I've ever made anything for a real-life book. I was up all night finishing these. Bernie's all burned out now. I guess if they're no good, we'll just have to burn them all, eh?
Let's leave the topic of burning aside for now, shall we? Show me what you've done.
So, what do you think?
This is excellent work. The color, especially. It truly brings your art to life. I will see that the new edition of our book is added to the Garreg collection.
Really? Oh, that's such a relief. It was a tough job, but yeah, there's nothing Bernie can't handle.
You certainly do have some impressive mood swings. Actually, there is one thing I'd like to discuss.
Oh no, what did I get wrong?
Relax. I simply wanted to ask you about this last image. This is you here, is it not?
Yes. Is that wrong? What's wrong with it?
Nothing at all. I'm only curious. Does that make me the person standing beside you?
Oh, no, that's St. Keyhole.
Is that so? Then I must ask, what relationship are you suggesting you have with him?
Well, I got the impression that the story of St. Indech was told from St. Keyhole's point of view. So I just imagined that I asked St. Keyhole about it. And, that's where the picture came from. I guess I overdid it, huh? That's weird, isn't it? It's really weird. We can scrap it. Let's just get rid of it.
Ah, so that's why. That's amusing.
It is?
Very much. And I think this is a very fitting end to the book, actually. St. Keyhole and Bernadetta. They would have made quite an interesting pair, I think. In fact, if the two of you had lived in the same time, I am certain you would share a deep bond.
What? St. Keyhole and me? No way. I've already got my hands full just trying to be friends with you. But I've managed that at least, right? Haven't I?
Absolutely.
西提斯都快笑死了，对吧？他就是圣骑霍尔本人啊！好多剧情都在暗示这一点。西提斯和汉尼曼的 B 级之缘。
Good day to you, Seteth.
Persistent, aren't you? If this is about my crest...
No, no. I thought we might speak of something else for a change.
Is that so?
Indeed. I am quite fond of conversation. Even just for the sake of conversation. Just listen to an old man's worries, eh?
Very well. Go ahead.
Perhaps it's due to my age, but I've been troubled by lower back pain lately. Right now, I'm in the process of finding a good way to treat it.
Ah. If it is an ointment you're after, I think Manuela would know more than me.
Doesn't it make you nervous to rely on Manuela? I do not mind asking her about the pain itself, but...
What are you trying to say?
Oh, nothing. I'm only lamenting the fact that I am getting old. It is a pastime I'm not sure I enjoy. Yet I can't help but notice time hasn't taken such a toll on you.
Well, the signs of age may not write themselves plainly on my face, but I feel the strain of years as much as you.
Is that right? But then, that doesn't explain your sister. Your sister, Flayn, was born around the time I came to the monastery from the Empire, yes? In all that time, I never knew you to pay her a visit or to write her letters. Yet somehow, the two of you seem very close, like a family who has spent years together. Could this not suggest a different interpretation? Perhaps, like you, she has...
You will not pry into Flayn's business. If you interrogate her, no. If you even so much as inquire where she has been or what she has done, I will never forgive you. Never. Investigate me all you wish. I will even cooperate if I must. But Flayn...
Calm down, Seteth. I have no intentions of approaching Flayn.
Do I have your word on that?
You have my word as a scholar and as a man. I do apologize for using your sister's name in that way.
Using her? What do you...
You promised me just now. Investigate me all you wish, you said. I will even cooperate, you said. Do you deny it? Those words were all I needed to hear. Now I have no cause to approach your sister.
It seems I have no choice. To think I have been played the fool by a man of your age.
I'll let that slight go, now that I have your cooperation.
Even with my cooperation, there is no guarantee you will reach the truth.
Oh, Seteth. Searching for the truth is what I do. And I will find it. I promise you that.
Then I suppose I will have to look forward to the day you prove your claims.
他俩的支援等级最高的话，最高也只有 B 啊。西提斯就不想让人家知道他不老不死嘛。西提斯和马努艾拉的 B 级支援。
It seems I'm not the only one here. Manuela?
Oh, Seteth. Hello.
This is quite the surprise. I would not expect to find you here outside of ordinary prayer time.
Praying? No, I was just resting. Whenever I'm in the infirmary, I simply cannot get out of doing work. I need a place to sit and close my eyes.
There is no need to hide it. It is obvious you were praying quite solemnly just now.
No, I was just enjoying some old memories. That's all. In fact, I was just thinking about when my parents first brought me here as a child. I wandered off from my parents because I heard a beautiful voice. It was a woman, singing, somewhere just out of sight. I began to sing along, hoping she would hear me and that we might meet. I never found her, whoever she was. Yet, it was she who taught me I could sing.
Interesting. I had never heard that. But I suppose if you were only a child, this would be before I arrived at Garreg Mach. In any case, if that singing voice helped you find your way, then that is a wonderful thing.
I've never told anyone else, but I believe it was the goddess I heard. And that day, she gifted me my singing voice. And I thank the goddess for leading me back here after I left the opera company.
You know, when you speak of the goddess in this way, it is as though you are an entirely different person. If you were to behave that way more in your daily life, I would have a much higher opinion of you.
Oh, that's very sweet, coming from you, Seteth. Should I take that to mean that you like your ladies pious and respectable?
One little compliment and you completely lose control of yourself. What am I to do with you?
Oh, it's a joke. Look, I'm just no good at serious conversations. Although, I would be lying if I said I wasn't interested in knowing what kind of woman does get your attention.
As thanks for the touching tale you have shared, I will satisfy your curiosity just this once. My preferred woman is kind, quiet, and proper. But above all else, she is straightforward and honest.
Quiet? Proper? There's no need to be cruel, Seteth.
A 级支援
Seteth?
Hello, Manuela. Is something the matter?
You surprised me is all. Though not as surprised as you when you found me here before. I've never seen you offering up prayers so solemnly.
I suppose I do typically make an effort to come here when no one else is around. Many look to me for guidance. I do not wish to disturb anyone's prayers with my own. But I did not come here only to pray.
Really? Then what were you doing?
I was swearing an oath to Saint Sethlin. She is a special figure to me. It's become part of my routine to swear this oath before her likeness. More than any other, she wishes for a peaceful world. I believe it is my duty to grant her wish.
I had no idea you held such a passionate secret devotion, Seteth. The legends of Saint Sethlin do depict her as a kind, proper, and honorable woman. And she was so gentle and quiet, really kept to herself. It's no wonder you're infatuated with her.
I think you may have misunderstood me.
It must be very lonely to be so in love with someone from the distant past.
She is very special to me, yes, but not in that way.
You don't have to hide it from me, Seteth. I can keep a secret. But people from the past are gone. No matter how much you care for her, she can't love you back. Now then, if you turned your eyes to me, I could respond to your deepest, most powerful feelings.
You are completely mistaken. Manuela. About what we discussed earlier with regard to Saint Cethline, I feel the need to correct your misapprehensions.
Oh, I won't expose your passion to the light of day. I told you I can keep a secret.
That's not it at all. How can I make you see? I suppose there is no other way. Allow me to tell you a very old story.
What kind of story? Is it about your past? Because there's a story I could enjoy hearing.
I once had a wife. She passed from this world a very long time ago. She was wise, kind of heart, and always smiling. A most wonderful woman. Not long after we married, we were blessed with a child. A girl.
You had a wife and a daughter? Why would you have kept that secret?
To protect my daughter. That has been my foremost concern ever since I had the misfortune to lose my wife. It is my daughter who resembles Saint Cethline. That is why I make my oath to this statue.
Your story doesn't sound right to me. I don't mind saying it.
Why is that?
When you talked about your ideal woman before, your description was almost exactly Saint Cethline. Now you're telling me your daughter is a perfect match?
It is not an exact resemblance. My daughter, for instance, is neither proper nor quiet. In any case, even in matters of love, an ideal seldom lives up to reality. That is the way of the world.
Do it again. Say, the way of the world with a serious face. You're so stern and proper, but you really can be quite funny. I love a man who can make me laugh.
My wife used to say the same thing. I never quite understood what was so funny.
I sound like your late wife? Don't tell me. I actually resemble her, don't I? Mirror image, I bet.
Absolutely not. Though... no, unthinkable.
The way you say it, I suppose I must resemble her a little. Well, isn't that an honor? Say, Seteth, have you ever considered remarrying? You know, just so you're not alone?
It is not a thought that has ever crossed my mind. I have been too preoccupied with fatherhood.
It's been a long time since your wife passed, right? You should start thinking about it. There could be someone who finds you handsome, someone close by, maybe even right in front of you.
Whatever you said just now, I didn't quite hear. But to remarry, I'd never even considered it an option until you brought it up just now. My daughter will not want to remain by my side forever. Perhaps it is time I thought about it.
I'd be happy to help you mull it over if you like. How about tonight? We could go out for a drink.
Are we back to this again? Very well. Just see that you do not drink too much. I would rather not have to carry you home.
马努埃拉喜欢西提斯啊。西提斯和卡多利奴的 B 级之缘。
Hey, Seteth. I've been meaning to ask you, what is your relationship with Lady Rhea?
That is certainly an abrupt question.
You're much closer to her than anyone else in the entire church. Certainly you're a good, upstanding person, but I can't help but feel there's something more to it.
Supporting the Archbishop is my sole professional interest. Personally, I consider her to be something akin to a companion.
A companion?
Yes, as in a traveling companion. Friends who walk the same path toward the same destination.
Companion, huh? A companion. I guess that does sound about right, now that you say it. Though, I'll confess to being quite jealous. Not many people can call themselves companions of Lady Rhea.
I do not know how she feels about it.
Oh, come on. You must trust that she feels the same about you.
There is no need for that sort of trust. My duties are the same regardless of her perspective. I consider you to be a companion also.
A companion in fighting for the Archbishop?
Certainly. Our goals are firmly aligned when it comes to that, are they not?
You're right, they are. I suppose you and I could be considered companions in that sense.
I am pleased to hear my sentiment reciprocated. I rely on you a great deal, after all. More than most.
Whoa there, what's all this now? Flattery won't win you any prizes with me, Seteth.
I do not flatter. I merely want you to understand why it matters to me that you be more cautious in battle. As your companion, it is my wish for you to be safe.
Oh, good, we're back in familiar territory, with you admonishing me. Don't worry, I'll be careful. I'll always try to live up to your expectations. So don't expect too much or you'll wear me out.
A 级
Take that, you goons! And that!
No, Catherine's at it again. She has charged too far forward. I better join her before she... Are you all right?
That's what I was going to ask you. How could you be so reckless? All those times you scolded me, and now you get yourself all beaten up. To think, nearly getting yourself killed in a minor skirmish like this one.
Quite right. Thankfully, I am not badly hurt. My apologies. I didn't mean to worry you.
What's gotten into you?
How do you mean?
Don't play dumb. I was supposed to patrol this area, not you. What are you even doing here?
Just happened to be passing through?
Seteth, this isn't like you bumped into me on a stroll around town. Nobody passes through a battlefield.
All right. I wanted to protect you.
What?
You'd pressed much too far ahead. I feared your life might be in danger. Once that thought occurred to me, I could not stand idly by. I had to shield you from harm.
And you were injured in the process. I don't know what to say. Seteth, I didn't realize you worried so much about my safety. I apologize. And I'm grateful. I guess we really are companions.
I did not do this merely to assist an ally. I did it for you. I don't want to lose you.
西提斯这是向卡多利努表白吗？之前马努埃拉向西提斯表白的时候，他表现得像个直男，啊，现在居然开始舔卡多利努了。
And if I am willing to risk my life to protect you, just think how much scolding I am capable of. So you had best take better care of yourself.
All right, you've made your feelings clear. When you say it like that, I can't refuse. I'm sorry for making you worry all the time. I'll be more careful. I promise.
Please do. For my sake and yours.
下面看一下卡多利努和阿罗伊斯的 A 级支援。
Come on, just one, please. I'll pay for it next time.
No can do. Do you have any idea how much is on your tab? More than you're worth is my bet.
Ugh, it's been a long day. I just need a little drink.
So long as my pocket stays empty, your glass stays empty. Don't cross me.
I couldn't help but overhear. Hello, Emma. How much does she owe?
Hi there, Eloise. Are you asking because you intend to pay this lady's tab? I can't even begin to understand that level of that level of kindness.
Eloise, what are you doing?
I'm in your debt, Catherine. You've saved me countless times. Besides, you warned me about those scams. You kept me from getting cheated out of my money. So I'll take care of this. How much does she owe?
Thanks, Alois. Are you sure you don't regret doing that?
Of course I don't. Think nothing of it. I used to pay old Gerald's tabs all the time. I'd have been happy to buy you a drink, you know.
Nah, that's generous of you, but I couldn't accept. You're a good guy, Alois, you know that? Not only paying my tab, but offering to buy me a drink, too.
Gerald would have kept drinking. He was certainly shameless about it.
Did he ever pay you back for bailing him out?
Sometimes. Honestly, off the battlefield, he was disorganized about everything.
That sounds like him. And to be honest, well, sounds like you too. You're probably not bothered when it comes to my debt, but I want you to know I'll pay it back.
I appreciate that, but there's no rush. I trust you. You're a colleague, a friend. And that's true whether or not you pay me back.
You're hopeless. But you know what, Alois? That's how I like you. Next time a con artist tries to bilk you, I'll be sure to save your backside.
卡多利奴和林哈尔特的 B 级支援。
Catherine, about Thunderbrand.
I said my position would not change. Go home. You're not getting your hands on Thunderbrand.
I was not asking to, so stop being so overprotective. I have a different request today.
Oh, so you're nagging about something else. Just so you know, constant badgering isn't a very attractive quality.
I would appreciate it if you would use Thunderbrand somewhere that I might observe it in action. Since you have denied me the simplest path to my enlightenment, I decided instead that I should closely observe the relic in use.
Linhardt, the hero's relics aren't showpieces. I only use Thunderbrand when I need its power. I won't waggle it around for your entertainment. You know, even though it's compatible with my crest, it still takes its toll on me. Every time I use it, it wears away at my soul. Not that you'd understand.
Of course I don't understand. I've never used it.
Watch your tone. Remember who you're talking to.
Why are you so unwilling to let me study Thunderbrand in any manner? I wish to be a true Crest scholar. Learning all there is to know about the hero's relics is my duty. I could learn a great deal by using a relic myself, even if that did mean endangering my life, yet you deny me the opportunity. Scholars who will not endanger their lives in pursuit of knowledge are worthless.
Scholars should be willing to lose their lives?
In a word, yes, which makes it all the more frustrating that you refuse my attempts at study. But I can't seem to convince you, so just forget all about it. Your bullheadedness wins the day, Catherine. I'm sure I can keep myself busy until we find another relic. If only I could use the Sword of the Creator. Without a crest stone, it won't respond. I wonder how it is that the professor can use it. The only explanation that makes any sense is... Could it be?
He wants so badly to study crests, he'd risk his own life. That's impressive. I underestimated your tenacity, Linhardt. But I have to protect you from yourself. Linhardt, I understand you'd endanger yourself to realize your dreams. But why go this far? You never seemed like the type to put this much effort into anything.
Honestly, I find most everything annoying, which is most likely why you have such an opinion of me. But to continue my research without taking this chance to know the truth, what would be the point? Besides, ignorance can breed even greater dangers. For example, do you know for whom Thunderbrand was originally crafted?
The goddess.
Correct. And because of that, everyone just stops thinking about it. No one really knows what the relic is made of, how it was crafted, or what its very structure may be. Until we know those things and truly understand the power and the danger relics hold, we won't be able to gain any new knowledge. I'm tired of talking.
You tire too easily. But I think I understand your logic. If you really want to risk your life, I won't stop you. Just remember, Linhardt, curiosity killed the...
I am not a cat. It will require more than my own curiosity to finish me off.
You've got guts, I'll give you that. But don't blame me if something bad happens.
If something happens, it happens. Finding out the truth means accepting the risks. Those who've identified plants, both poisonous and medicinal, took the same risk in eating each. I'm just like those people.
Okay, fine. I give up. You win. I'll let you hold Thunderbrand just this once. Go on, give it a try. And don't worry about something bad happening. I'll be right here.
A 加支援。
So, now you've held Thunderbrand. Learn anything? What's going on? You look like you're going to faint. Is that Thunderbrand's doing?
No, not at all. My body is operating at its normal, healthy level of sleepiness. I felt no effect at all, honestly. Perhaps one exposure to the relic wasn't enough.
Don't tell me you want to get a hold of it again.
Of course not. There is a difference between taking a risk and being a fool. Interesting experiment, though. I used all my might, yet absolutely nothing happened. It seems if one's crest is not compatible, a relic simply will not work. To feel that response, to better understand the bond, that is more than enough for me.
I see. What will you do now? I assume your relic research is complete.
Not at all. I have other clues to follow, experiments to perform. That said, I would be pleased if someone who could use their relic with all their might would join in my research.
What? You don't mean me, do you?
Now that you mention it, I suppose you would fit the bill.
Sure seems that's what you were getting at. Fine. When the war's over, I'll help with your research.
Oh, you will?
I figure if I don't do it, he'll find some other poor soul to bother. It's like I'm keeping a high-maintenance cat. You're endlessly curious.
I am not being kept. The sentiment is welcome, but I am still not a cat.
卡多利努和卡斯帕尔的 B 级支援。
Hey, Caspar. You look more troubled than usual.
Yeah. I've been thinking a lot about the last time we talked. I really admire your strength, and I want to be like you on the battlefield. But I don't agree with your idea of justice. If that's the case, is it bad for me to look up to you? I'm not sure how to feel anymore.
I can't answer that. You'll need to find the answer on your own. I can offer one piece of advice, however.
Sure. Anything will help.
When I told you I would cut down children with no hesitation, you looked disgusted. I take it that's the part you're struggling to accept?
Pretty much. I don't think I'd be able to do it, even if that meant disobeying orders.
Well, what if the children had their own weapons? What if they were trying to kill you?
Well, maybe if it was in self-defense, but even that...
What if the children were killing each other? Let's say their families had been slaughtered and they sought revenge. How would you stop the killing? Who would you strike down?
I don't know. I'd have to see what's going on for myself, but even then,
When you witness these horrors in person, it's no easier to decide. In fact, the decision is harder. Choosing to end or spare a life, whether to save someone or abandon them, these choices are always difficult.
Having to choose between life and death.
You have a strong sense of justice. You have clearly defined ideals. But that's not an asset on the battlefield. Ideals slow you down. They cause inner conflict. Making decisions in the spur of the moment, you can't hope to be perfectly fair and just. That's why I choose to fight for Lady Rhea's justice. The justice of the Church of Seiros.
But what about when Lady Rhea's ideals don't really line up with yours? Then what?
Not possible. Lady Rhea's ideals are my ideals. There's no conflict between them, because that's what I've decided. Do you see?
I don't get it. You can't possibly agree on everything.
I have faltered in the past.
That's what I'm talking about. How can you blindly trust some other person's sense of justice?
Not a person. The goddess. I cared about someone, and they were branded a criminal. That's when I started down this path. I didn't know whether to turn a blind eye or mete out punishment.
What did you do?
I couldn't decide, so I looked to the goddess for guidance. Since then, I have devoted myself completely to the goddess. I surrender myself wholly to her will. So think carefully, Caspar. To what will you devote your sword and your heart?
"这种问题呢，是讨论不出结果来的。继续看一下他们的 A 级支援。
Hey, Catherine. I wanted to tell you I've decided to do things my own way.
I'm happy for you, Caspar, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, you know, in life and death situations like we talked about. I spent a lot of time thinking, but it was tough to figure out. Then, I realized I was wasting my time. I decided I should keep fighting the way that feels right to me.
I thought that might be your decision.
I've still got something important to ask you, though.
Something important, huh? Let's hear it.
Could you, keep an eye on me?
What? Why?
I may have decided to do things my own way, but I'm sure I'll still mess up sometimes. I might be able to avoid any real damage if a Knight of Seiros has my back.
I see. Then I refuse.
Oh, great. Thanks so much. I knew you'd... What?
After deciding to take your own path, you ask someone else to watch over you? It's like you can't think for yourself. Your simple-mindedness is kind of charming, but still.
I really thought you'd say yes. Now what am I supposed to do?
I don't know. I'm not your babysitter. You want someone to watch after you? Become the type of man people can't look away from.
他们之间的话还是有 A 加支援剧情的。
Yes! I did it! I finally got a hit on you!
Not bad. I didn't expect you to come this far.
I've been training non-stop, so it had to happen eventually. I've been using my head a lot more, too. I'm not the same old Caspar.
Then what kind of Caspar are you?
Well, if you're Thunder Catherine, then, I get to be... Lightning Caspar. No, that's no good. Fiery... No. Burning Caspar?
I wonder where all this fire of yours comes from.
It comes from wanting to fight by your side.
Sorry, what?
You said before that you don't want to keep an eye on me. Something about not being my babysitter?
Yes, I seem to recall saying something like that.
That's why I decided I needed to train and get to your level instead. I'm gonna keep getting stronger. That way I'll never have to leave your side. You and me were...
Stop. That's enough for now. You've only managed to hit me once. Let's see if you can actually beat me. If that happens, I'll hear your request.
In that case, you'd better get ready. I'm real fired up now. You're gonna have to start calling me... Inferno Caspar!
看一下卡多利奴和萨米亚的 B 级支援。
That battle was a decent challenge, but when push came to shove, they didn't have a chance. Before long, all of the church's enemies will have been destroyed.
You must really love worshipping the church. Or is it just Rhea?
Lady Rhea. You're the only one in the Knights who doesn't address her with the proper respect. It's not just that I worship Lady Rhea. I respect her, admire her, revere her.
I don't get the Seiros religion. Or Rhea.
Shamir, if you were anyone else, I would cut you down for saying that. She saved your life.
She did, and that's why I fight for her. Doesn't mean I worship her.
You never change. You're so stubborn.
You're the stubborn one.
When we're on missions related to Rhea, it's like you're wearing blinders. Now that she's been rescued, your carelessness is probably just going to get you killed.
I don't plan on getting killed. And it's not that I'm wearing blinders. I'm just focused. I've devoted my heart to Lady Rhea. She's the reason I wield my sword.
As long as you don't get killed or cause me any trouble, I don't really care.
So my death would cause you trouble?
That's not what I meant.
Let's give it a rest. There's no point in arguing.
Fine, but I want you to know something. It's not easy to put your life in the hands of someone who doesn't share your beliefs.
I understand. I think we can both agree on that.
A 级支援。
Hey. We don't need to have this conversation.
You don't know what I was going to say.
Something about our vastly different approaches to life?
Fine then. We don't need to talk about it. Actually,
really,
sorry, you go first.
I was gonna say I'd hear you out.
Okay, let's talk about it. I will be faithful to Lady Rhea until I die. If I had to choose between you and her, I would choose her every time. I assume that disqualifies me from being your partner.
Between you and Rhea, I'd choose you. But between you and me, I'd choose me. That probably disqualifies me from being your partner, too.
Well, no. I'm quite fond of being alive. I don't intend to sacrifice my life either. If it came down to you or me, I'd choose... Huh.
What's wrong?
Nothing. You're not like the rest of the knights. Maybe someday you'll have to take a path that diverges from ours. What if we went to war with your country?
It is a possibility.
Maybe I shouldn't be thinking like that.
The future is one of the great mysteries of life. We can worry about it when the time comes. But until our paths diverge, you're my partner. And I couldn't ask for a better one.
You got that right. I'm the best there is.
他们两个之间也是有 A 加支援的。
You're safe. I'm so relieved.
I was just on a mission. What's gotten into you?
I'm sorry. I've been thinking about the last time we talked. About our paths diverging. I've been a little afraid since then. Afraid that you might quit the Knights.
The terrible Thunder Catherine. Afraid? I thought you weren't afraid of anything.
I kind of thought so too. I realized that I might actually lose you someday, and that's scarier than I expected. I've never felt this way about anyone other than Lady Rhea.
You seem very passionate about this.
I guess so. I have many brothers and sisters in arms, but you're my only partner. I know you have my back, so I can focus on the battle in front of me.
I see. Catherine, I have to tell you something. I lost my first partner, which is why I can make no guarantees that this will last forever. But I want you to know, there's no one I would rather have at my side. I could never sever my bond with you. If there ever comes a day when our paths do diverge, know that I'll always be with you.
Thank you. I lost someone too. I thought we'd be together forever, but our lives went in different directions. Relationships are so fragile.
Of course. But that's enough of that. I can't stand any more of your vulnerable side.
Ah, sorry, partner. Hope I didn't worry you. I lost hold of myself there.
No need to apologize. It's what partners are for. If you'd like, we can start planning our next move.
Next move? What do you mean?
We can wed if you're that worried about losing me. Though, I may tire of your company.
我去，这么直白的吗？ 哎，那我结局肯定要让他们两个在一起啊，对不对？哎，人家记得都不是很明显，我第一次看到记得这么明显的萨米亚跟卡多利奴，人家都偷偷摸摸的记，这边直接说出来了。
You look a bit red. What's the matter, partner?
That was just unexpected. If you'll excuse me, I need some fresh air.
看一下萨米亚和他徒弟追利尔的 A 级支援。
Listen carefully, Cyril. This is important. Are you interested in becoming a better archer?
Yeah. I always want to get better.
Good. Then you need to find another teacher.
What? Why would I need another teacher?
Because I said so.
Have I done something wrong, Shamir?
Not at all.
Why do I need a new teacher then?
I simply have nothing left to teach you.
Nah, that can't be true.
It is. Your fighting style is fundamentally different from mine. I'm a sniper. I find a secluded spot on the battlefield and pick my enemies off one by one. But you're a harrier. You weave in and out of the battlefield, assailing the enemy with rapid fire.
A sniper and a harrier?
Correct. And your progress has revealed where your strengths lie. I've taught you as much as I can. You'll have to find a teacher who specializes in your tactics if you wish to grow.
No, you're my teacher. That's how I want things. I don't know about specializations or whatever, but I know I don't want a different teacher.
Then you'll never improve.
I'm fine with you, and I don't want anyone else. I only want you, forever and ever.
Okay, Cyril, let's forget this conversation ever happened. And thank you. Now, stop standing around. We've work to do.
Yeah. Okay.
这师生恋吗？追利尔的话还差2个人，一个是跟佩托拉，一个是跟马努埃拉。追利尔不会跟马努埃拉还发展出什么感情来吧？应该不会哦。
Manuela? What's she doing down there?
Ugh. What did I do to deserve pain like this? Alright. Same thing as always.
She seems fine. I ought to just keep walking. See no evil, right?
Stay right there. Cyril! It must be a little dollop of destiny meeting you here. Listen, you wouldn't leave me when I needed a little help, would ya?
Okay. What do you need?
That's my boy, Cyril. You're a saint. I don't want to be trouble, but get me water and medicine. Now, please? I feel a bit better now. Thank you so much, Cyril. My sweet, dear little Cyril.
Professor Manuela, why do you do this to yourself? It makes you feel so bad the next day, I don't see the point.
Oh, you know, sometimes I'm upset and... well, that's it really. It's not something a kid like you could understand. Maybe one day. Or not. Who knows? All I know is that my head aches.
Professor, isn't this stuff why you keep running men off? And them running is what upsets you. Then you do this all over again.
You can't understand heartbreak until you've felt it for yourself. But when you're older, your heart will break. And I'll make sure to be there. To get you water and all that.
That's okay.
You're always so nice and sweet, Cyril. I'll pay you back. Promise.
Nope, no thanks. No reason to. You don't have to do anything.
Oh, don't be shy. I'll be waiting in the wings for that little heart of yours to shatter. Oh, Cyril. What were you saying? I interrupted, I think.
I was just saying I need to get going. A lot of work to do. Lots. Okay. Bye.
再看一下杰里尔和佩托拉。
Cyril, how is your bow training progressing?
I think maybe I've gotten better. It feels a lot easier to ready the bow lately.
That is a nice thing to be hearing. You have my support with your efforts.
I do?
Yes. I am always cheering you on. I am long feeling a great affinity with you. Our positions are dissimilar, but our situations have great similarities. That is why I am always trying hard to be supporting and protecting you.
You mean you've been cheering me on all along? That's nice to hear. Well, in that case, I'll support you too.
You will? That gives me great joy.
It makes you happy? It's gonna sound funny, but hearing you say that makes me feel happy too. You know, I just realized that well, when you talk, it's kind of powerful. It's like everything you say feels real nice and reassuring. Just listening to you makes me feel better about everything. I think it's a special talent you have.
Words can be said by anyone. Alone, they are without power. What is meaningful is how you are feeling. I am hoping I can learn to use words well, to convey my feelings. That is my wish. I am still learning. My words are not coming out as properly as I am wanting.
Maybe the words aren't, but the feelings behind them are. I really do think you're special. Now that I know you're supporting me, I'm going to work real hard not to let you down. And, I hope someday I can get strong enough to inspire you the same way you inspire me.
You have already been achieving that goal. You already have great strength.
You really think so? Nah, I still got a long way to go. I'm not tough enough to match you yet, so I'm gonna get stronger. Stronger and stronger so I can support you forever.
Stronger and stronger? So you can be supporting me forever?
Yeah, forever and ever.
Even when I am being an old woman? It will be a difficulty then.
Sure, even when you're an old woman, I'll be an old man right beside you, doing my best.
Old woman Petra and old man Cyril supporting each other. I am looking forward to it.
Yeah, that does sound nice.
把 Julia 跟不同女生的好感剧情放一起看的话呢，我就仿佛看到了一个海王。接下来呢，我们最后给福莲来找一下老公吧。先看一下他跟林哈尔特的 A 级之缘，不知道林哈尔特最终有没有发现福莲的真实身份啊？
Reading anything interesting?
Ah, good day, Linhart. At the moment, I'm simply browsing history books. Reading these, it's easy to imagine what it would feel like to exist long ago.
Fodlan's history spans thousands of years. We're lucky to have so many detailed records of our past. I have knowledge of how people lived, who they loved, what wars they fought, and why. But I'd never describe it as feeling like I was living in the past.
And why not? It's only a figure of speech.
About our shared crests.
Goodness, this again?
There's an experiment I wish to attempt, although it might prove to be a bit troublesome.
A troublesome experiment? You know I do not like pain.
Pain? No, there won't... Well, I'm unsure of the results, but that's why they call it an experiment. It would, of course, require that you and I get married.
I beg your pardon?
Yes. If bearers of major and minor Cethlean crests reproduce, what crest would the offspring possess, if any? I must know, and thought the question might pique your interest as well.
Are you actually speaking about a hypothetical future with me? Involving children?
Yes. Such parentage has never been documented. A whole new field of research awaits. It would be a worthy experiment, and we'd need only 5 or so children for a good sample size.
Do you mind going back to what you mentioned earlier?
Pardon? Which part?
The part about marrying and having children. I've always believed, rather firmly, that marriage is something between 2 people who love one another.
I like you well enough to advance a field of study to previously unknown heights. How do you feel?
This is the first I've heard of such a thing from you.
Do you imagine I've spent all this time talking to you because I was bored? Anyway, I'm pretty worn out now, so let's continue this conversation another time, yes?
Does conversing with me tire you out so much?
Talking to anybody tires me out. Thinking, putting thoughts into words, opening my mouth, all tiring. Do give some thought to my proposal. Think of how far we could advance Crest research, you and I.
这么说起来，其实林哈尔特的头发也算是绿色哦，墨绿色、深绿色。林哈尔特，他的伎俩已经被我看穿了。他每次要跟小姐姐表白的时候呢，他都借由做实验、研究文章，来表白。
Experimental marriage and children? He likes me? I don't understand. I don't understand at all.
结局的时候，让林哈尔特跟弗莲结婚吧。再看一下弗莲和菲尔迪南特的 B 级之缘。
Good day, Ferdinand. Working on your armor again?
Good day to you too. That is right. I have been overusing it a bit lately. Now, allow me to wager a guess. Are you feeling hungry as usual?
As usual? It is not as though I am always searching for a meal. I am rather interested in armor. Do you mind if I peer over your shoulder while you work?
Of course not. Please, feel free to observe.
Thank you for allowing me the pleasure. Oh, so many different types. Wow! Helmets, armor, gauntlets. The range of defensive items seems innumerable. This one seems different from the rest of them. It is akin to a gauntlet, except...
Flayn, careful!
Huh? Oh!
Flayn, are you alright? Did you injure yourself?
I am well. But what was that?
That could have been serious. Please forgive me. I should have warned you first. This is a new type of gauntlet with a spring-loaded blade over the knuckles. The mechanism is rather easily triggered. How foolish of me not to warn you.
No, I am the one who was overly curious and reached out without permission. My apologies. But, when you snatched me out of harm's way, you embraced me quite tightly.
Yes. You were in danger and my instincts simply took hold. I hope you will forgive my rashness.
No, it is not that at all. It is just... You hugged me so tight.
Did it hurt? I am so sorry, Flayn. I did not mean to cause you any discomfort.
Not at all. Not in the slightest. Anyway, I had better be on my way.
Such a delicate creature. And that sweet demeanor. Snap out of it, Ferdinand.
比起林哈尔特，弗莲明显更喜欢菲尔迪南特，对吧？他们的剧情才 B 级就已经这么甜了吗？看一下 A 级支援吧。
Flayn, I hope you will allow me to apologize.
Why would you need to do that?
Last time, when I was working on my armor, you could have been gravely injured. You have been avoiding me ever since. So I want to reiterate how very sorry I am.
I'm not sure that's entirely the case.
So you are not avoiding me?
To be perfectly honest, I felt a bit embarrassed. When you embraced me before, it really caught me off guard. You're surprisingly strong for how slender you appear. Anyway, it all got me rather flustered.
Oh, I see. Well, I do train quite often. On the battlefield, it is perfectly common to lift up a wounded comrade. It has nothing to do with your gender. In the heat of the moment, I pay no attention to such things. That is, how I would explain it.
I see. So you have a well of strength for embracing people, it seems.
Well, I would not put it like that. Usually, when I embrace people, it is in the context of battle.
Is that so? So the embrace was nothing more than a rescue. Perhaps I was flustered needlessly. I wonder if you would consider embracing me when my life is not in peril.
Huh? Why?
Because I'd like to feel that way again. That's why. How about it? Or is your capacity for embracing limited exclusively to warfare?
Oh, I see what is going on here. I had forgotten how charmingly ethereal you can be. Very well. As per your request, I shall embrace you again.
I'm delighted. Does right now work for you?
Why, of course. Easily done. Although, perhaps we shouldn't tell Seteth.
Agreed. Better to let this be our little secret.
弗莲明显他喜欢，比起林哈尔特，他更喜欢菲尔迪南特啊。哎，不过呢，我们本周末的话呢，我要跟菲尔迪南特结婚，所以的话，弗莲你就下次吧。
Hello, Professor Manuela. I wish you to know that I have heard ever so much about your talents.
Whatever are you talking about, Flame?
Singing! Why, you are wonderfully skilled at it, are you not? Why, I have even overheard people saying your voice is akin to the singing of a goddess.
It makes me happy to hear. But who told you that?
Oh, the students are always speaking of it, which got me to thinking, I may be the only person in all of the Academy who's never heard your beautiful voice in song. So, I was wondering, Manuela, might you sing a little something for me?
Your request is touching, but I can't perform on such short notice. My voice is an instrument and requires proper gentle care. However, the stories are true. I was once the leader of the Middle Franc troop, but that was a long time ago.
Middle Franc? What do those words mean precisely?
You've never heard of the Middle Franc troop? Before the war, it was the single most popular opera company in the Imperial capital. I used to sing on stage with them. I was the star, in fact.
Oh, wow! In all of Enbar? They must not have been around when I was living there.
You used to live in Enbar?
Indeed. Although I was quite a bit younger at the time. It is where I was born, as a matter of fact.
Oh, well, you must have been too young to hear about us.
Yes, that could be. And what precisely is the function of an opera troupe?
You don't know what an opera troupe is? Well, it's a group of performers like myself who act out stories on stage in front of a big audience. Stories with lots of singing.
Oh, I understand now. I certainly have experience in the fine art of storytelling. There is often singing as a part of story time for the children at the monastery.
That is darling, Flame. But I'm not sure it's quite the same thing as an opera. You see, operas are performed in grand theaters with orchestral accompaniment. Everyone attending wears their finest. It is a very special occasion.
Theaters, they're called? You mean to say that there are buildings exclusively used for telling stories?
You've never even heard of a theater? You're an intelligent girl, Flame, and the world is full of wonders. You have a lot left to discover.
福莲的话，因为他之前沉睡的太久了，他其实呢很跟不上这个时代的潮流啊。避己之缘。
Hello, Manuela. I was just wondering, what was it like back when you were involved with that opera troupe? Your life must have been quite different from how it is here, I imagine.
My, how bold to ask an adult about their private life. I'll humor you, though. A diva's life is only glamorous while she's on stage. The rest of her time is consumed by grueling training. Just days and days of practicing, beginning at sunrise, with barely a moment to rest from one performance to the next. Then, once the performances begin, you're on stage for 3 shows a day. Absolutely exhausting. Is that anything like you imagined?
It sounds like a world all its own. Thank you. I find the topic fascinating. What sort of roles did you tend to be cast in? As the lead performer, did you play the part of a princess much? Oh, I can only imagine how illustrious that would be.
Yes, I was a princess once or twice. And it was quite something, let me tell you. All those royal jewels and flowing gowns. And they didn't just give me the pretty clothes to wear because I was beautiful, you know. I had to fight and claw my way into every role. But once I was there on stage, singing my solo, and all eyes were on me, it was worth it. I was rewarded for every one of my countless hours of practice. And the cheers when I finished a song, the applause. Oh, I can't properly explain it, but I can tell you, it's an experience I will cherish until the day I die.
Wondrous. It all sounds so very glamorous. Despite how rigorous a schedule you kept, it sounds like the hard work was worth those fleeting moments on stage. Mine has always been a quiet life. It is hard not to feel a twinge of envy, hearing such stories from you.
There's a lot to be said for the quiet life. It was never for me, of course. Still, I hear it's a pretty good deal for a lot of other folks. The thing is, Flayn, well, you always have to remind yourself that if a place shines brighter than anywhere else, its shadows will be darker too.
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing. It's a thing I hope you never come to understand. You know what? The next time you visit, I'll tell you all about the time I played a beautiful princess, and about the handsome prince she fell in love with.
Oh, please! I would love to hear all about it!
看一下马努阿拉说的王子与公主的故事吧。
Manuela, do you recall what you told me? You mentioned that if a place shines brighter than anywhere else, then its shadows will be darker too.
You sound so worried. That was nothing, dear. Call it a joke.
It most certainly did not sound like a joke. Can you please elaborate? Of course, I love hearing about your glamorous past, performing on stage. But all that glamour doesn't account for the shadows you spoke of.
Well, I suppose I could share a little. Here's the thing about the opera. Talent isn't enough to earn you a position in a glamorous show. You need money, connections, and, failing those, the stomach to commit a spot of violence. I spent many nights buttering up nobles in power. No matter how humiliating the task, I'd do it, because I wanted to be a star. I hope that kind of talk isn't too shocking for a sweet girl like yourself. Are you disillusioned with me, now that you know my sordid past?
Not at all. Understanding you more deeply, I can see how much strength has been required of you all this time.
Flayn.
I am well aware that survival and striving for dreams sometimes means doing things we would not normally do. Perhaps because you have been so strong, lived with such conviction. Perhaps that is why your songs have touched so many people's hearts.
You sound very wise all of a sudden. Thank you, Flayn.
I would like to rescind my original request of you.
Your request to hear one of my songs?
Indeed. Instead, I have a different request. I would like to see you perform an opera on stage.
I don't know about that. It's been a long time since I stood on stage.
I imagine you have experienced much since you left the opera company. It follows then that you have developed new insights, charm, and wisdom to share.
Yes, I probably could play a tragic role even better now than I could back then. But it's hardly the time for operas. We need to put an end to this war first.
Agreed. Let us make the curtain fall on this war as soon as possible.
Maybe then we can raise the curtain on a brand new performance. That'd be something, wouldn't it?
That is exactly what I yearn for.
战争已经结束了呀，结束了呀。我们来看一下。
Hello there. I've been waiting for you.
我们来看一下跟雷亚的 A 级支援剧情吧。
If you would, please allow me a closer look at your face. Those beautiful shining eyes and silken hair so similar to my own. Oh dear, please excuse my rudeness. I forgot myself for a moment. It is only that we haven't had a chance to speak privately since you were blessed with the power of the goddess. I hope I have not caused you any discomfort.
再多一点也没关系，希望你别这样，这什么鬼？
Oh, I do not know what to say. I'm overjoyed that you feel that way, but... Well, to be frank, that is not like you, is it? Still, no matter how I wish to strengthen the bonds between us, it is important that I not overstep. Yes, as souls blessed by a connection to the progenitor god, the bonds between us are truly unbreakable. Just as the goddess blessed you with her own power, I too received her divine protection long, long ago. Though different, our fates are entwined.
我知道了。
You say that now, but I am certain there is much you still wish to know. To that end, know that truth has a way of revealing itself in time. If you experience any further changes, please know that you can rely on me to guide you. Seteth and Flayn are also here to support you however they can. Dear child, may the goddess protect you always.
好的，那我们本期的话呢，就先结束在这里了。下期的话呢，才是最后一期，下期的话才是最终大决战。没错，战争结束了，我们还要再打最后一场。好的，我们下期再见吧。